Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn about blood. After watching this video, you will be able to describe what is blood, what are physical properties of blood, what are components of blood, functions of blood and its components, and you will also be able to describe the role of platelets in the process of coagulation. Blood is a special type of fluid connective tissue present in humans and other animals that transport necessary substances like nutrients, oxygen, hormones, enzymes to the cells and transport metabolic waste product away from the same cells. So what is hematology? Hemato means blood, logos means study, that is study of blood. The branch of science which is concerned with the study of blood, blood forming tissues and the disorders associated with them is known as hematology. What are physical properties of blood? Blood looks like bright red in arteries and dark red in veins. Variation in color is due to the variation in oxygen content. Mass. Blood makes up to 7 to 8% of total body mass. Volume of blood in average male is 5 to 6 liter and in average female is 4 to 5 liter. pH of blood is 7.35 to 7.45. That is, blood is slightly alkaline in nature. Temperature of blood is 38 degrees Celsius or 100.4 degree Fahrenheit, which is about 1 degree Celsius higher than oral or rectal body temperature. Blood is 3 to 4 times more viscous than water due to the presence of cellular components and dissolved solutes. So what are functions of blood? It helps in transportation, regulation and protection. How it helps in transportation? As most of the cells of multicellular organism can't move around to obtain oxygen, nutrient, hormones, enzymes and to eliminate carbon dioxide and other waste. So these needs are fulfilled by two liquids. First is blood and another is interstitial fluid. Interstitial fluid is fluid present between the cells. Blood transport oxygen from lungs, nutrients from gastrointestinal tract, hormones from endocrine gland and enzymes from exocrine gland, which diffuses from blood into the interstitial fluid and from interstitial fluid into the cell. And cell utilize these things, and after that carbon dioxide and waste move into opposite direction, that is from cell to interstitial fluid and from interstitial fluid to blood, and then blood transport these waste to various organs like carbon dioxide to lungs and other waste to kidney and skin for elimination from the body. Regulation. Circulating blood helps maintain homeostasis of all body fluids. Homeostasis. What is homeostasis? Homeo means same and stasis means stable. That is remaining same by remaining stable. For example, body has self-sustaining mechanism that tries to maintain internal conditions like regulating body temperature or maintaining body temperature to 37 degrees Celsius, regulating pH, regulating oxygen and carbon dioxide content in our body, regulating blood glucose level in the body. Protection. Main component of blood is WBCs, that is white blood cells, which protect against disease by phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is the process of engulfing or eating. Blood proteins present in plasma, including antibodies, interferons and complements, helps in protecting against disease in a wide variety of ways. So what are components of blood? Blood consists of cellular as well as non-cellular components. Cellular components including blood cells, RBCs, WBCs, platelets. Non-cellular components including plasma, which makes up to 55%. WBCs, on the basis of presence or absence of granules, they are classified as granulocytes or agranulocytes. Granulocytes are neutrophil, eosinophil or basophils. Agranulocytes are monocyte or lymphocytes. As we have already discussed, blood makes up to 7 to 8% of total body mass, and it contains both cellular as well as non-cellular components. Cellular component including platelet, WBCs, RBCs, non-cellular component including blood plasma, which makes up to 55% and it makes up to 45%. Blood plasma consists of proteins, water and other solute. Most abundant is water, that is 90 to 92%, and then comes Proteins, plasma proteins including albumin, which is most abundant protein 54%, and then globulin 38%, fibrinogen 7%, and then other proteins. Other solutes present in blood plasma are electrolytes, nutrient, gases, regulatory substances or waste product. As we have discussed, blood helps in transportation of nutrient, gases, regulatory substances and waste product which are dissolved in plasma. Platelet count in human body is 1.5 lakh to 4 lakh per microliter. WBC count is 5,000 to 10,000 per microliter. Red blood cell count is 4.8 to 5.4 million per microliter. WBC, most abundant WBC present in human body is neutrophils, that is 60 to 70%. Then comes lymphocyte 20 to 25%, monocyte 3 to 8%, eosinophils 2 to 4%, basophils 0.5 to 1%. Appearance of centrifuged blood. When a blood is centrifuged into a small test tube, cells, that is white blood cells, red blood cells or platelets, sink to the bottom and plasma makes a layer on top. WBCs and platelets, which are more denser than plasma and less denser than red blood cells, makes a buffy coat in between plasma and red blood cells. First we will discuss about plasma, its components and their functions. Plasma is pale yellow liquid present in blood. It is pale yellow liquid component of blood that hold cellular element of blood and dissolved substances in suspension. Water. Water is about 90 to 92%. It is liquid portion of blood and act as solvent and suspending media for component of blood. Plasma protein, which are responsible for creating osmotic pressure, maintaining water balance between blood and tissue, and hence regulate blood volume. Albumin is most abundant plasma protein present in blood. Its function is to maintain normal plasma osmotic pressure, and it also acts as carrier for steroid hormone and for fatty acids. Globulins, which are mostly formed in the liver and the remaining in the lymphoid tissues. Globulins can be alpha globulin, beta globulin or gamma globulin. One group of gamma globulin is immunoglobulin, which are complex protein produced by lymphocytes and play an important part in immunity. So what is immunity? Immunity is the capability of multicellular organism to fight against infection, or we can say it is a capability of multicellular organism to resist harmful microorganism from entering into the body. How immunoglobulin fight against infection? First, they recognize the microorganism or foreign particle, then they bind to them, and then they neutralize foreign material or destroy foreign material or microorganism. Globulins also help in transportation of some hormones or mineral salts, and they also help in inhibiting some proteolytic enzymes. Another protein present in plasma is fibrinogen, which is a clotting factor produced by liver and play an essential role in blood clotting. Serum. Serum is a plasma from which clotting factors have been removed. Plasma, when the cellular components or formed elements of blood are removed, a pale yellow color liquid is left which is known as plasma, and when from plasma clotting factor, that is fibrinogen, is removed, then it is known as serum, or we can say serum is equal to plasma minus fibrinogen. Inorganic salts or electrolytes. Plasma contains both positive as well as negatively charged ions like sodium, potassium, magnesium, chlorine, carbonate ion. They are involved in wide variety of activities like cell formation, contraction of muscles, transmission of nerve impulses, maintenance of balance between acids and alkalis, or in maintaining pH buffering, or they also help in osmotic pressure. Nutrients, waste product, hormones or gases which are transported through blood are dissolved in plasma. Functions of plasma components. मेन functions क्या है plasma components के? Albumin helps in osmotic balance and act as carrier for several steroid hormone and for fatty acid. Main function of globulin is they are involved in defense mechanism. Fibrinogen in blood clotting. Electrolytic ion is pH buffering, contraction of muscles, transmission of nerve impulses, maintenance of balance between acids and alkalis. Then comes RBCs, which are also known as erythrocytes. Erythro means red, cytes means cell or red cells. As you can see, they are circular or biconcave, and they are non-nucleated in nature. Non-nucleated means nucleus is absent in RBCs. Their size is diameter 7 to 8 and thickness 2.5. Red color of RBCs is due to the presence of hemoglobin. RBCs count, as we have already discussed in above slide, is 4.8 million RBCs are present per microliter in adult female, and in adult male approximately 5.4 million RBCs are present per microliter. Lifespan of RBCs is 120 days. So what are main function of RBCs? Main function of RBC is to transport oxygen from lungs to tissue and transport carbon dioxide from tissue to lungs. Oxygen is transported in the form of oxyhemoglobin. It binds to hemoglobin and it forms oxyhemoglobin, and it is transported in the form of oxyhemoglobin. One molecule of RBC contains 280 million molecules of Hb, and each molecule of Hb carry 4 molecules of oxygen. Hemoglobin also transport 23% of total carbon dioxide as a waste product of metabolism. Normal blood contains 13 to 17.5 gram per 100 ml Hb in male, and in female 11.5 to 16.5 gram per 100 ml Hb is present in a blood. White blood cells, which are also known as leukocytes. Leuko means white, cytes means cell or white cells. These cells, main function of WBCs are they are involved in protecting the body against both infectious diseases and foreign particles. They are largest blood cells, and they are also named as cells of immune system, and as they are involved in protecting the body against infection, they are also known as soldiers of the body. As you can see, they are their shape is amoeboid, and they are nucleated cells. Nucleated means nucleus is present in white blood cells, while nucleus is absent in RBCs. Types of RBCs. On the basis of presence of granules, they are termed as granulocytes or agranulocytes. Granular means granules, cytes means cell. Cells having granules are termed as granulocytes. Cells without granules are termed as agranulocytes. Granulocytes can be neutrophils, eosinophil or basophils. Their name represent the dye they take up when stained in the lab. Like neutrophils are named so because they take up neutral dye. Neutro means neutral, phil means loving. They take up neutral dye, that's why they are named as neutrophils. Eosinophils take up eosine dye, that's why named as eosinophil, and they take up basic dye, that's why named as basophil. Eosinophils are sometimes also referred to as acidophils, as eosine is acid dye. Agranulocytes can be monocyte or lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are of two distinct types, T lymphocytes or B lymphocytes. T lymphocytes can be killer T cells, helper T cells or memory T cells. First we will discuss about granulocytes. As you look at their appearance, their nucleus is having 3 to 4 lobes. Their nucleus is with 2 lobes and their nucleus is with indistinct lobes. They are stained with neutral dye, that is hematoxylin, that's why named as neutrophils. They are stained with acidic dye, eosine, that's why named as eosinophils, and they are stained with basic dye, methylene blue, that's why named as basophils. So what are main functions of neutrophils? Main function of neutrophil is to protect against any foreign material entering into the body, mainly microbes like bacteria or fungi, or to remove waste material. Neutrophils destroy microbes by phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is the process of engulfing or eating. Granules present in neutrophils are lysosomes containing enzymes which helps in digesting engulfed material. Acidophils or eosinophils are also capable of phagocytosis but are less capable than neutrophils. and their main target is larger parasite which are difficult to be phagocytosized, and they helps in eliminating parasite from the body, and they also modulate allergic inflammatory response. Basophils release histamine for inflammatory response. Lifetime of neutrophil is 6 hours to few days, eosinophil is 8 to 12 days, and basophil is few hours to few days. Now comes agranulocytes. These are having large nucleus with no granules in the cytoplasm. Lymphocytes, they can be T lymphocyte or B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes produce antibodies and which produce immunity in the body and helps fighting against infection. And T lymphocytes, killer cells, helps in killing microbes. Helper T cells helps B lymphocytes in killing microbes, and memory cells will remember each specific pathogen encountered and are able to mount a strong and rapid response if the same pathogen, what is pathogen? Pathogen is disease causing organism, and memory cell remember that pathogen. If the same pathogen enter into the body again, then it will detect and respond strongly and rapidly. Lifetime of lymphocyte, years for memory cells and weeks for all else. Monocytes, hours to days. Platelets or thrombocytes. Thrombo means something related to clotting, and main function of platelets is blood clotting. They helps in blood clotting. That's why they are termed as thrombocytes. They are derived from cytoplasm of megakaryocytes. Shape of platelets is disc shape, non-nucleated. That means nucleus is absent in platelets. Size of platelet is 2 to 4 micrometer in diameter. Count is 1.5 lakh to 4 lakh per microliter. Their lifespan is approximately 5 to 10 days. So what is the function of thrombocytes? Their main function is they are involved in blood clotting. They contain a variety of substances that promote blood clotting, which causes hemostasis. Students, please don't get confused in the terms homeostasis and hemostasis. Hemo means something related to blood, and hemostasis meaning cessation of bleeding. When a blood vessel is damaged and loss of blood is stopped, and healing occurs in series of overlapping processes in which platelets play a vital role. It involves 3 processes. First, vasoconstriction, second, platelet plug formation, and then comes coagulation or blood clotting or formation of fibrin like mesh. Vasoconstriction. When platelets come in contact with damaged blood vessel, their surface becomes sticky and they stick to the damaged bone, where they release serotonin or thromboxane, and due to the release of these things, they constrict the vessel and reduce blood flow through it. And after vasoconstriction, platelet plug formation step starts because sticky platelets clump to each other and release other substances like ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate, which attract more and more platelets to the site, and passing platelets stick to those already at the damaged vessel, and they too starting releasing their chemicals, and due to which many platelets rapidly arrive at the site of damage and quickly form a temporary seal, which is known as platelet plug. As platelet plug is weaker, so fibrin clot formation is essential. First, vasoconstriction occurs, and then platelet plug formation occurs, and then coagulation. What is coagulation or clotting? Process by which blood changes from liquid to gel-like nature. It is a complex process involving many enzymatic reactions in which one step activates another step, one clotting factor activates another molecule, and at last large quantity of insoluble protein, fibrin, is formed. It is involving many steps, but in this video I am involving only few steps. Prothrombin activator acts on plasma protein prothrombin and convert it to the thrombin, and then thrombin act on another plasma protein, fibrinogen, and convert it to the fibrin, and then formation of an insoluble thread-like mesh of fibrin, and then which traps blood cells and is much stronger than the rapidly formed platelet plug. Now look at this. Thromboplastin released by damaged tissue cells enters the body, which activate extrinsic pathway. Platelet adhere to damaged blood vessel lining, which activate intrinsic pathway, and due to which prothrombin activator convert prothrombin into the thrombin and then fibrinogen into the loose fibrin thread, which then leads to the formation of stabilized fibrin clot. Students, I think most of you have observed that after injury a clot is being formed, and I think you have also observed that clot naturally disappears after few days. This is because of fibrinolysis process. Just like our body have capability to form fibrin clot, our body also have capability of dissolving that clot. After the clot has been formed, the process of removing it and healing the damaged blood vessel begins. An inactive substance known as plasminogen is present in the clot and is converted to the enzyme plasmin. And then plasmin starts the breakdown of fibrin to a soluble product that are treated as waste material and removed by phagocytosis. Activators. First, stabilized fibrin clot is being formed. After this, activators activate plasminogen, which is converted into plasmin, and then plasmin convert insoluble fibrin into the soluble breakdown product, which is being phagocytosized or removed from the body as a waste material. So students, in this video we discuss about blood, their components and their functions, and in the next video we will discuss about formation of blood cells, that is hematopoiesis. Thank you for watching. Hope you like this video.